I'm a super fan. I'm definitely bleed blue, wear blue, speak blue, and I don't think there's any other colors.
The Maple Leafs are Jimmy Holmstrom's life. He hasn't missed a single one of their games in 33 years. Jimmy is an example of how Maple Leaf fans are some of the most dedicated in all of sports. After all, their team has the longest championship drought in hockey, and yet their love is unwavering. How does that happen? Jimmy's blood turned blue the last time the Leafs won the Cup, way back in 1967, when he was 8.
I deked out of school and ran over to the parade. And because I was little and squirmy, I got to the front of the crowd, and then I saw the players go by in the cars, and my favorite hockey player at the time was George Armstrong. He picked me up and put me up in the car, and we went a couple of blocks before I realized I'm going to get lost. And if I wasn't a Maple Leaf fan true and true by then, I was sold.
Jimmy became a school teacher in Toronto, and then one day he landed his dream job.
I've been the organist for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and certainly humbled and proud of it.
As the team's organist for 3 decades, Jimmy has been the conductor for the fans' roller coaster of emotions. So if anyone understands the beating heart of the Maple Leaf, it's him.
The Toronto Maple Leaf fans, like me,
Saturday night,
are just dying to see our team win. It's just all about the blue and white. And when we lose, we don't get down. We don't jump on and off the bandwagon. We're there for good. And it could be this year, it could be next year, it could be 20 years. This doesn't matter. It's our team.
Go, Leafs, go!
Toronto, time to stand up.
Go, Leafs, go!
Everybody get your hands up.
Go, Leafs, go!
From the front to the back, this is our game. Everybody knows that.
Go, Leafs, go!
Yeah,
I've been making music since I was 12, so I rap about so many different things, but specifically for the Leafs, it was just out of love, right?
Go, Leafs, go!
Yeah, we had enough. We want to taste the 67. Yup, we want the cup.
Go, Leafs, go!
Yeah, we started
Azim
from the
Huck
gardens,
and his
started
nephews
from the bottom,
are
now we're
all
going
in
to
on the
top.
Leafs.
Go, Leafs, go!
But Azim's love affair started somewhere unusual, in hospital.
I was born with spina bifida, so the doctors didn't think I was going to be able to walk. And throughout my life, I had various surgeries, over a dozen.
It was during one of his visits to sick kids that something almost magical happened.
I was scheduled for a test or something that day, and I knew the Leafs were coming, and there was nothing I could do to get out of this test, so I told my sister, hey, if the Leafs come by, tell them I said hi, or please try to get an autograph or something. She knew I was a big Curtis Joseph fan, and Cujo actually came room to room to say hi to everybody, and I missed him. And I was like so torn about it.
Yeah.
But then later in the day, a nurse comes by and he says, hey, Cujo was looking for you. He said that there was somebody missing in this room. He's here right now. Can we go see him? I'm like, of course. Cujo is asking for me. So when I went down and I saw him, it was just amazing to see that this guy didn't need to do that, right? To go out of his way to remember, hey, I was missing in that room. It was really special.
Meeting Leaf legend Curtis Joseph motivated Azim to work harder on his rehab. It has such an impact that today he gives back too. Azim is a professional musician and has donated $10,000 from his earnings to the hospital where he met his hero.
Go, Leafs, go!
They said it can't be done, but we're bringing home the cup in 2021, so...
If the Leafs won this year, the whole thing, the Stanley Cup, it would mean the world to me. Not just to me, I know this whole city would be going crazy.
From the front to the back, this is our game. Everybody knows that.
Toronto all the way.
Go, Leafs, go!
Hey, hey, hey.
Coming our way soon, Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup champions.
Jim Vigman fell in love with the Leafs the first time he saw them live. His passion grew so much that when the opportunity came, he went all in and bought a unique piece of Leaf history at auction.
I thought it was an iconic piece from an iconic institution, the Maple Leaf Gardens. It was the throne, the only toilet in the men's dressing room. Just think of all the famous people that sat there.
You heard right. Jim bought a toilet without plumbing for $5,300.
It's just a piece of Leaf lore that I'll have and that I'll give to my kids when the time comes. Well, here we are. It's time to flush COVID and our memories of it down the toilet, and it's time to crown Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup champions.
Jim has another message, a more serious one. He thinks the pandemic has given winning the Stanley Cup new meaning.
We've suffered so much. Individuals have died. We've all had to change our lives. We've had to adapt, including the hockey players. And it will give the people of Canada, specifically of Toronto, a reason to celebrate and say not all is bad in this world.
You almost wish they'd win this year above all else.
This is the year that I want them to do it. I think this will be the most significant year in the history of the Stanley Cup.
These days, in the midst of a pandemic, we all need something to hope for, more than ever. And really, that's what the Stanley Cup is all about. Nick Purdon, CBC News, Toronto.